Hey guys, I'm Kara Green with Aquatic Facility Training and Consultants. Welcome to Pool Talk. I just want to introduce myself real quick. I've been a CPO for about 7 years now and a lifeguard for about 12. I've worked with many different pool facilities, from neighborhood pools to county pools, and now I work at a university pool. But as pool operators, we all know that we have different needs, and there are many factors that go into figuring out what's best for sanitizing our pools. So today we're going to talk about some of the myths that are associated with saltwater pools and the chlorine generation. So a lot of people think that if you have a saltwater pool, that means that there's no chlorine. That those big salt bags that they see us dumping in the pool are sanitizing the water. And while they're partially correct, that's not exactly how it works. So we're going to dive a little bit more into the science behind it. So I'm not a chemist and I don't have a degree in chemistry. I really only work with pool chemistry, as most of you probably do as well. So I apologize in advance if my explanation is a little bit elementary. So the question really becomes, what exactly happens when you put the salt into the pool that turns it into free chlorine? So it is a scientific process. Obviously this is all science, right? So the salt in and of itself is sodium chloride. You hear that chloride piece in there, right? You add that into the water and it filters through a generation system. That generation system, those are going to put the chemical components through a process called electrolysis. So electrolysis basically separates out our bonded elements and it converts the sodium chloride into the free chlorine. So one of the misconceptions about this process is that it's creating chlorine, when really it is charging the element so that it becomes chlorine. Alright? So when you're checking your pool chemistry, yes, you are checking for your chlorine, but you are also having to go back through and check your salt parts per million as well. When you are checking your chemistry with a saltwater pool, you're looking for it to be between 3,000 and 4,000 parts per million for your salt level contents. As well as you're going to find that you end up with a higher pH a lot of the time. But don't worry, that is to be expected with a saltwater pool. So now that you know a little bit more about how it works, that you're not just dumping salt in the pool, it's not just like the ocean, that there's some science behind it and the electrolysis process where it's splitting those components and charging the chlorine to be free chlorine. Next time you come up to somebody and they're like, oh, I don't use chlorine, I have a saltwater pool, you can give them a little bit of truth about how saltwater pools work. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining Pool Talk. I look forward to seeing you next time.